Adi Purusham Tamaham Vajami Angani Yasa Sakale Driya Vriti Manti Vasyan Dipan Dikayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Amaham Vajami Govindam Adi Purusham Amaham Vajami Govindam Adi Purusham Namaham 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 Vajami Govindam Adi
For the pleasure of their Lordship, Shri Gaunita, Shri Radha Vallabh, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. Daily score report for Monday, 4th of July. Books distributed. Ojasvi Prabhu, 1 Mahabig for 2 book points. Dvijpitamba Prabhu, 1 Śrīmad Bhāgavatam set for 72 book points. That gives the daily total of 1 Mahabig and 1 Śrīmad Bhāgavatam set for 74 book points. Preaching score, Radha Chaiba, 91 guests for 1,100 Lakshmi points. Gopals, 156 guests for 1,878 Lakshmi points. And Crossways, 301 guests for 2,526 Lakshmi points. That gives the daily total of 548 guests for 5,504 Lakshmi points. Lakshmi liberated, Ojasvi Prabhu, 44. Member services, 163. Temple shop, 182. Farm donations, 255. And Vishvitamba Prabhu, 300. That gives the daily total of 944 Lakshmi points and weekly running total of 2,241 Lakshmi points. Sankirtan Yajna ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
you play? Oh, Prabhu, thank you very much. I'm happy now. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Vakati Salman. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Vakati Sadma. Vando muy savadana mate. Jahara prasadevai evavatori jajai. Krishna prapti hoya hoite. Krishna prapti hoya hoite. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Kori Jakya. Aharna koriyo mane hasa. Harna koriyo mane hasa. Shri Guru Charane Rati hai se utama gati. He prasade pure sarvahasa. He prasade pure sarvahasa. Chachudana diloje janme janme Prabhu se. Chachudana diloje janme janme Prabhu se. Divya Gyan Hide Prakashito. Divyana Hide Prakashito. Prema Bhakti Jahoite Avidya Vijasayate. Prema Bhakti Jahoite Avidya Vijasayate. Vidigaya Hare Charito. Vidigaya Hare Charito. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu. Lokanath Lokera Jivana. Lokanath Lokera Jivana. Ha ha Prabhu Koro Dhoya Deho More Pada Chaya. Ha ha Prabhu Kuru Dhoya Deho More Pada Chaya. Ha ha Prabhu Kuru Dhoya Deho More Pada Chaya. Ha ha Prabhu Kuru Dhoya Deho More Pada Chaya. Divirgas Gusutre Bhuvana. Divirgas Gusutre Bhuvana. Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana. Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya, Jaya Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Namahom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Gauranita, Jayo Gauranita, Jayo Gauranita, Jayo Gauranita. Jaya Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Radha Vallabha, Radha Vallabha, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Vallabha, Radha Vallabha, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Swami, Prabhupada ki Namacharya Hare ki Prince of Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Sarigora ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopalopinath Shyamak Mundara Mundari Govardhana ki Vrindavan ki Mayapurdam ki Jai Gaura Premanande
Shiva. Thank you. Govinda. Did you dress Radha Vallabha on Sunday? Too nice. Krishna will bless you. Happy birthday. You're going to the cows? Yeah. Good. Good. Anyone knows cowtails? What can I do? Rata. Jaya Rata Matovo Kunja Bihari Rata Matovo Kunja Bihari Gopi Janabalaba Girivaradari Gopi Janabalaba Girivaradari Yashodanandana Prajanaranjana Yashodanandana Prajanaranjana Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tirtha Vanachari Jayo Radha Motovo Kunja Bihari Hey Radha Motovo Kunja Bihari Hey Gopi Janabalaba Girivaradari Jai Gopi Janabalaba Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajanaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Motova Kunja Bihari Hey Radha Motova Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupad, Paramahamsa, Paragaraja Ashtatala Shishimad, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta, Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrindi ki, Kantara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki, Nitai Go Premanandi, all glories the assembled devotees, all glories the assembled devotees, all glories the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Narayanam namaskritya naram cheva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayat. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 12, the chapter entitled Vritrasura's Glorious Death, text number 1. Shri Rishiruvacha Evam Jihasunypadehamajo Mrityum Varam Vijayan Manyamana Shulam Pragriyabhya Patat Surendram Yata Mahapurusham Koita Bopsu Evam Jihasunypadehamajo Mrityum Varam Vijayan Manyamana Shulam Pragriyabhya Patat Surendram Yata Mahapurusham Kaita Bopsu Manyamana. Thinking. Should. Trident. Shukadev Goswami said, is that maybe a little bit too loud? Desiring to give up his body, Vritrasura considered death in the battle preferable to victory. O King Parikshit, he vigorously took up his trident and with great force attacked Lord Indra, the King of Heaven, just as Kaitava had forcefully attacked the Supreme Personality of Godhead when the universe was inundated. Translation responsibly. Shukadev Goswami said, desiring to give up his body, Vritrasura considered death in the battle preferable to victory. O King Parikshit, he vigorously took up his trident and with great force attacked Lord Indra, the King of Heaven, just as Kaitava had forcibly attacked the Supreme Personality of Godhead when the universe was inundated. Purport. Although Vritrasura repeatedly encouraged Indra to kill him with the thunderbolt, King Indra was morose at having to kill such a great devotee and was hesitant to throw it. Vritrasura, disappointed that King Indra was reluctant despite his encouragement, took the initiative very forcefully by throwing his trident at Indra. Vritrasura was not at all interested in victory. He was interested in being killed so that he could immediately return home back to Godhead. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.9, Chaktva deham punar jamanaiti. After giving up his body, a devotee immediately returns to Lord Krishna and never returns to accept another body. This is Vritrasura's interest. Amagyan Tamanandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bievacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityanando Shri Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare Hare. So the Bhagavatam in the very beginning says that the purpose of the Bhagavatam is to learn to differentiate between reality and illusion, or matter and spirit. We're meant to understand what is matter, what is spirit, and to understand that matter is asat. Asat means it is temporary, and Sat means eternality. Sat also means truth and reality. Reality, truth, is eternal. Anything which is not eternal, that is not reality. That is illusion, according to Bhagavatam. So that means everything in this material world is illusion. Bhagavatam in the second canto says this is swapna. Swapna means it is a dream. You are just dreaming. And you think the dream is reality. Everyone takes the dream so seriously, but it's just a dream. Any questions or comments? Yes? Very good. How do we get out of the dream? Very good question. How do we get out of the dream? Because that is the ultimate truth. This is just a dream. So we are identifying with the dream. Prabhupada explains, in the nighttime you're dreaming, Prabhupada gives the example, you see you're being eaten by a tiger. So, your mind is fearful, right? And you're feeling very disturbed. But when you wake up, it's just a dream. It doesn't mean anything. But when you're dreaming, you think, oh, that is real. So similarly, the Bhagavatam says everything we're going through right now, this is the dream state. And when you wake up, that is reality, right? You wake up and you see, okay, that is what is real. So at this point in time, everyone is dreaming. That is called maya. Maya means illusion. We are in the false state. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita there are two prakritis, para prakriti and apara prakriti. Para prakriti means superior nature, superior existence, superior energy, and the material world that we're in now is called apara prakriti. Means it is inferior, it is second class, right? But we are attached now to second class. And the conditioned soul becomes so bewildered, he becomes attached to suffering. If you analyze, sometimes it might be in your own mind, in your own psychology. There's certainly people in this material world, they get like that. They become attached to suffering. They like to suffer. They like drama. They like anxiety. They can't live without something going wrong. Some people are like that. That's not natural. That's not real. We become attached to the perverted material existence. But reality is that we stay attached to the spiritual world because that is Sat. So therefore, Prabhupada said, every night before you go to sleep, you should read the Krishna book. Hands up if you read the Krishna book every night before you go to sleep. No one is doing it. Why is that? Yeah, every night? No, not every night, but sometimes, yeah. So we are reading the... That's good. That's good. So we are reading the Krishna book before we go to sleep. Prabhupada said, if you do that, you will dream of Krishna. And then that will wake you up to the reality. That is what is taking place here. Vritrasura finds out he doesn't have very long to live. He knows this is it. You don't have very long to live. Just like if you find out you don't have very long to live, what will you do? How will you spend your time? Right? Hopefully in devotional service. Vritrasura, he understood, I don't have very long to live. So what did he do? He fixed the mind on Krishna. Rupa Goswami says all devotional principles are based on two injunctions. What are the two injunctions? Always remember Krishna. Never forget Krishna. These are two injunctions. That governs everything. Everything you do during your day should be leading to these two things. One is called vidhi, the other one is called nisheta. Vidhi means things you should do. Things that we accept. Why do we accept them? Because they help us to remember Krishna. And then nisheta means things that we avoid. Why do we avoid them? Because otherwise they will make us forget Krishna. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So any negative injunction which is there, except because the Shastra is full of negative injunctions. Don't do this. Don't do that. Why does it say these things? Because if you do it, you will forget Krishna. Just like when we take initiation, right, in our tradition, in ISKCON, right? 4 regulative principles, 4 things I will not do. Why? Because if you do that, it will make you forget Krishna. That's why we don't do it. We don't eat meat, we don't have illicit sex, we don't take intoxication, we don't gamble. Why? Because it will make us forget Krishna. One positive thing that we do, minimum 16 rounds a day, you chant it. Hare Krishna Maha Mantra chant, whole life. If you do that, that will make you remember Krishna most effectively. Because what is the goal? To remember Krishna. This is called Smaranam. Jiva Goswami explains, in Kali Yuga, the goal is Smarana, to remember Krishna. But what's the most effective way to reach the goal? It is Kirtan. Kirtana. Right? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Right? How do you get to Smarana, remembering Krishna? Hearing and chanting. Kirtan is the most effective way to remember Krishna. When we do Kirtan, we're meant to be remembering Krishna. It's important to remember this. It's very important to remember this. Because sometimes people do Kirtan, but they're not remembering Krishna. That's not the point. The point is when you're going to absorb yourself in Kirtan Ras. If you read the songbook of the Vaishnava-acharyas, you know the songbook? No, it's called Songbook of Vaishnava. Yeah. So if you're reading the introduction, Prabhupada says, the safest place in this material world is, what does he say? No. Prabhupada says, the safest place in the material world is in Kirtan Ras. That's what Prabhupada says in the songbook, right? Kirtan Ras. Because you can be in Kirtan, but you may not be in Kirtan Ras. Your mind might not be there. You can physically be in Kirtan, your mouth can be moving, but your mind can be in Hawaii. It's possible. Yeah? Your mind can be somewhere else. So Kirtan Ras means the mellow of Kirtan. Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Vedituna Majan Manaso Rasena. This is where it comes from. Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya, Mahaprabhu, he teaches us Kirtan. He is the ultimate guru in Kirtan. His Kirtan was the most ecstatic. You haven't done Kirtan until you do it with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When you've danced and chanted with Lord Chaitanya, then you'll understand what is Kirtan. Because the earth will rock. The earth moves like this when he chants and dances. Right? So, Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Varitura Majan. Majan means Majan Manaso. Manaso means in the mind. Rasena. What is Lord Chaitanya experiencing in his mind while he is chanting Kirtan? And what is going on in his mind? That's why we study Chaitanya Charitamrita. When you study Chaitanya, then you understand what goes on in God's mind. It's amazing, actually. Chaitanya Charitamrita is amazing because you go inside of God's mind. What goes on in his mind? What is his rasa? What is he experiencing while chanting? So that is meant to be where our mind goes while we're chanting. It means to go to Krishna's pastimes, Leela. Leela Smaranam, you're meant to remember the pastimes of Krishna. That is where the chanting is meant to lead. But you have to cultivate that. You have to cultivate that. In the beginning we say, just chant, just hear. But that devotees always say that. Prabhupada said, just chant, just hear. Prabhupada said more than that. That's not the only thing he ever said about chanting. Prabhupada said, while you're chanting, the pastimes of Krishna should come into your mind. That's what we should be aiming for. Right? Cultivate your chanting. You want to go beyond falling asleep while you're chanting. You don't want to stay on that level forever. You don't want to go on that level. You want to go much beyond that. So, why do we do these things? Positive things we do. That is because we want to remember Krishna. And then, nisheta. Nisheta means things you have to give up, things you have to avoid. So you read the Nectar of Devotion. How important is the Nectar of Devotion? Prabhupada said it is one of the 4 pillars of ISKCON. Right? Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and Nectar of Devotion. Right? So you read Nectar of Devotion, devotees have to study this book. That's why it's in the Bhakti Shastri. Right? It's very important to study it. Because Prabhupada said it is the law book for ISKCON. Right? Everything we do in ISKCON is based on Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Right? Everything we do is based on that. Right? Prabhupada said his books will be the law books for the next 10,000 years. So if you come back in 9,000 years from now, what will you be reading? Same book. Right? Next 10,000 years, this is the law book, Prabhupada said. Right? So in chapter, if you read Nectar of Devotion, right, if you get to chapter 8, what is chapter 8 called? Well, it's just after chapter 7. It's the one before chapter 9. Offenses to be avoided. Right? Offenses to be avoided. Because chapter 6, right, Rupa Goswami gives 64 ways to serve Krishna. Hands up if you want to serve Krishna. Okay, you want to serve. Now how do I serve Krishna? Rupa Goswami says, okay, I'll give you 64 ways. Right? So 64 things you need to do, but some of those things are nisheta, things you need to avoid. So when he gets to chapter 7, he begins to unpack, right? Analyze the different ways, elaborate on the different ways to serve Krishna. But then when he gets to chapter 8, he says, okay, now you have to avoid aparad. Right? Aparad means offenses. Right? Because if you commit offenses, it's like rowing your boat all night with the anchor out. Well, have you ever done that? No, none of us have done it, but imagine doing it. Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur gives the example of the marriage party. Right? They had to go to another village. So all night they were rowing the boat, to get to the other village in the morning for the marriage, but someone forgot to take the anchor out. Right? So they were on wake up in the morning, they're still there. Right? These things happen. I don't know how, but these things happen. They're just rowing all night. So that's what it's like. If you commit offenses in devotional service, you might be rowing hard, but you're not getting anywhere. Right? So we have to avoid the offenses. So if you read chapter 8, it says offenses to be avoided. How many offenses are there that you have to avoid? Chapter 8. 64. Right? Have you read the Nectar of Devotion? Yeah, a long time ago. Please read it again. 64. Right? 64. Right? Offenses to be avoided. That's a lot. That means there's 64 things you could be doing wrong right now. Just like it says, don't sit with your back towards the deities. Right? There's one. Okay. What's another one? Don't fall asleep in the temple room. Sometimes you're giving class, right? You see devotees are falling asleep. I wake people up. Most devotees don't. They just let them sleep. I don't. I say, Prabhu, wake up. I say, go and take rest. It's okay. If you want to take rest, that's okay. You're tired. We all get tired. But don't sleep here. This is spiritual world. You're in the spiritual world right now. Right? So if you're in the spiritual world, don't sleep. What will you do when you go back to Godhead? Krishna and Radharani are there, they're dancing, and you're just in the corner like on a tree. It doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? So do not sleep in the temple room. That's another offense. Don't do it. Right? Another offense says don't bow down on one hand when you come into the temple room. Sometimes you're chanting japa, you bow down, you just go like that. It says you cannot do that. It says when you offer obeisances, 9 parts of your body have to touch the ground. What are the 9 parts of your body? 2 feet? 2 knees? 2 hands? 2 elbows, and 1 head. Yeah, that's 9 parts. That's Dandavat. Right? Either you go fully, or you bow down partially, like the Matajis do, like that, or we do a lot of the time, right? But 9 parts have to be touching. So if you're chanting your japa, then you have to put your beads down, offer obeisances, then pick your beads up again. That's the system. Otherwise, there's no full obeisances. Right? So it's an offense. It's not a huge offense. It's not that Krishna will, do something bad to you during the day, but it's an offense. Krishna wants you to give all of your attention to him. Why you only give 8 parts of your body? Krishna wants 9. That's the way Krishna is. He wants everything. If you don't like it, then you have to go somewhere else. But if you stay here, then Krishna wants everything. That's the kind of person he is. Hands up if you like Krishna. Yeah, we all like him. So get used to him. He has a particular personality. He's very dominant. A very domineering personality. If you look at his astrological chart, his Jyotish, I've seen it, he's very dominant. Right? He's a very dominant person. Even in the morning, sometimes, Mother Yashoda says Balaram is there. And Balaram is Dalji, he is Krishna's older brother. Sometimes Mother Yashoda says, Dalji, look after Krishna. And Krishna says, I am the leader of the cowherd boys. Right? I am the leader. Everyone follows me. You don't have to tell him that, like this. He's a very dominant person. He's very particular. So he says, I want 9 parts of your body when you bow down. I don't want 8. You can give 8. He'll accept it, but he wants 9. And he's going to take 9 in the end anyway. When you die, he will take everything. Your whole body will just go like this. And he'll say, see, now I took everything. What will you do? So that is his personality. That is his nature. Hey, stop doing that. Okay? We're giving class. Stop doing that. Yeah, listen, but don't do this thing. Okay? That's okay. Okay, but just don't do that. Just listen and don't do that. Okay. So, this is Krishna's temple. So when you come in the temple, then there are rules you have to follow when you come in the temple. This is Krishna's home. It's not our home. We are just the guest. We come in. So nisheda means offenses to be avoided. Right? There are things you have to do. Because you can't, as a guest, when you come to someone's home, you have to act properly. So this is called nisheta. So if you follow the things that you should do, the rules, then you will get to Krishna. Right? And if you avoid the things that you should not do, then you will not forget Krishna. That's the whole purpose. So Vritrasura, he is here now, and what is Vritrasura doing? He is saying to Indra, kill me now. Take me now. Right? And Indra does not want to kill him. Why does Indra not want to kill him? Because he's a great devotee. Imagine that was your seva. Imagine that was your seva. Someone says to you in the morning, go and kill Prabhu by the afternoon. Don't come back for evening prasad till he is dead. Imagine that's your seva. What a service. Indra has to kill Vritrasura. He knows he's a Amala Vaishnava, a pure devotee, but you have to kill him. And Vritrasura is saying, come on, do it. Come on. It is Krishna's desire that you win this battle. And the only way you can win is with this particular thunderbolt made of Dadichi's bones. Right? That's the only way you can kill me. Right? Everything's been set up now. Do it. Come. Right? That's how surrendered he is to Krishna. That is the essence of bhakti. Mam ekam sharanam braja. That is the essence of bhakti. The essence of bhakti is sharana. Sharana means surrender. Right? Krishna says, surrender unto me. Sharana means surrender everything. That is Krishna's mood. He wants everything from us. Bhaktivedanta Thakur has written beautiful verses and poems called Sharanagati. 6 items of surrender. Right? Surrender can be divided into 6 items. to accept, as we already said, to accept things which are favorable for devotional service, and to give up things which are unfavorable. That's the beginning of surrender. When you come to the temple, there's some things you don't want to give up. You don't want to give things up. Right? But you have to give it up if you want to come close to Krishna. Was there anything that you gave up which was difficult when you first came? Sometimes we feel, oh, that is difficult, but no, you have to do it. If you want to get to Krishna, you have to give it up. You have to give up your mustache. I saw some of you came, you had your you were attached. I am a Kshatriya. I have my mustache. And Dorothy said, hey, take that off. I saw, but they took it off for Krishna. That is the mood. Even in the mornings, sometimes in Krishna's pastimes, Radharani hears Krishna's flute being played. And when she hears it, she jumps up and she begins to run to meet Krishna. And Lalita Devi, who is like her guru, she says, hey, slow down. Dress yourself properly. You're going to meet Krishna. You can't go like that. Dress nicely. She's so enthusiastic to see Krishna, she just starts running. He said, hey, tie your sari properly. Make your hair very neat, right? Make sure all the gopidats are nice. Now go and see Krishna. She has so much enthusiasm to see him. She cannot wait, but Lita said, no, you wait. It's for Krishna's pleasure. So sometimes we have to give up things we do not want to give up for Krishna's pleasure. And then we have to accept things which we may not like to accept. That's bhakti. You have to get up 4 o'clock in the morning and have a cold shower and come and see Krishna. Sometimes you think, I don't want to do that. No, you have to do it to go and see Krishna. Sometimes, like we were doing one time Braj Mandal Parikram in Vrindavan. 94 I did Braj Mandal Parikram. In the morning time you get up, there's only cold water. No nice shower. You're in the dark with a pump, getting your bucket of water so you can take it off somewhere in the dark to, bathe yourself or like that. So you might be thinking in your mind, this is not so pleasant. But it is for Krishna's pleasure. You have to accept things you may not like to accept for Krishna. Now that is the system, that is bhakti. Right? So this is part of Sharanagati, Sharana, surrender to Krishna. When you surrender to Krishna, you also think Krishna is my maintainer, he is my protector. That is bhakti. All right? Surrender means Krishna will maintain me, Krishna will protect me. And most devotees, many devotees, we have that consciousness. Krishna will maintain us. Have you ever been hungry since you became a devotee?
Yes.
You have? When? Other places, other temples. Yeah. Well, that's the opulence of the Melbourne temple. No one goes hungry. Seriously. It's an opulent temple. No one goes hungry here. No one goes hungry here. Right? You don't feel like that. You don't feel hungry. Right? What's that? Yeah, except when you're fasting. But that's because you're choosing to do it. But there's always prasadam available. That's opulence. Now in Sri Lanka, right now in Sri Lanka, there are food shortages. Some people are only eating once a day because there's not enough food. Right now in Sri Lanka. This is happening now. Kali Yuga is here now. It will come to Australia. You watch. It will come. Maybe 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, who knows? It will come. The whole world will become like this because of Kali Yuga. Already in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a developed country and they can't even feed the people. So much mismanagement. It's easy to grow things in Sri Lanka. What's the problem? Prabhupada would criticize. At one time he was walking in Surat. Where is Surat? Gujarat. Anyone been to Gujarat? No? Surat. You're Gujarati, right? Are you born there or? No. Which place? Okay. Is it near Surat or? No. Okay. Okay. But, yeah. Prabhupada was in Surat and he was walking, and on the fields they were growing tobacco. And Prabhupada looked and he said, "What is that?" And Prabhupada knew. Prabhupada knows all these things. But Prabhupada said, "What is that?" I said, Prabhupada, that is tobacco. He said, "Why are they growing tobacco?" He said, "Prabhupada, they grow it, they cultivate it, they ship it to another place in India, they sell it to them." Prabhupada said, "Why do they do it?" I said, "Prabhupada, so they can make money." "Why?" Prabhupada, so they can buy food. Prabhupada said, why don't they grow food there? How dumb are these people? This is the material world, isn't it? Grow tobacco so I can get money to buy food, or you could just grow food and that's it. End of story. Even some devotees, they tell me in South India, their family has property in South India. One devotee, nice devotee in our community, he said in that property, they grow everything. He said they grow everything. They grow dal, they grow rice, they grow fruits, they grow sabji, everything is there. And I looked at him and I said, "What are you doing here? Seriously, like, what are you doing here?" He said, "Oh, I'm working so I can send money back to my family." And I said, "Why?" It doesn't make sense. This is the way we live in Kali Yuga. We come to Australia because you live like a devata, right? And you make so much money and you send it back to India, but you could be in India just eating all the food you need. What's the problem? Just in India, that country we call India, Bharat, Vash, that block of land in India, you can grow enough food there for the 7 billion people on Earth. Right? There's enough land there. So all the food shortages are just mismanagement. How can people be hungry? Sri Lanka is a subtropical climate. You can grow anything there practically. It's not possible. It's just complete mismanagement. So this is what takes place. Bhakti means Krishna is my maintainer, Krishna is my protector. Right? And that's how devotees think. Krishna will maintain us, Krishna will protect us. We depend on him. Of course, we have to do something. You can't just sit here in the temple all day and meditate. But you have to work, and then Krishna will maintain us. This is bhakti. So this is part of Sharanagati. And then what are the other two elements of Sharanagati? Gopa, what are the other two elements? Humility and? You remember the other one? Slipping my mind for some reason. So humility is there. That is the other one. Humility. If you're actually surrendered to Krishna, you will be humble. Right? If you're proud, you're actually not fully surrendered to Krishna. I see it in myself. I become proud. Oh, I give nice classes. Oh, I can do this. I can do that for Krishna. Right? That pride, that's not actually surrender. Right? Real surrender means you become humble for Krishna. And then what's the other one? Yeah, I already said that. Protector, maintainer. Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And that's the final element of surrender. You give your Atma to Krishna. What's the best gift you give Krishna for his birthday? When is Krishna's birthday? When is it? Yeah, August. What date? Is it 26? 19. Okay. This year it is 19. It's on a Friday this year. It's going to be busy. Please come with 8,000 other people. Right? It's going to be very busy. Friday night. It's going to, then Prabhupada's Vyasa on Saturday. Super busy. Okay, so 19th will be Krishna's birthday. So what is the best gift you can give Krishna? Your Atma, your soul. That is surrender. Krishna, I will give you everything, anything. At least do it on that one day. If you can't do it every day, at least do it on Janmashtami. Just, Krishna, I'll give you anything and everything. I'll give you my best service. Please accept me. And Krishna is very kind. He will accept us. So this is Sharanagati. That's what Vritrasura is teaching us. Right? Fully surrender to Krishna. Right? That is the goal. He says, Indra, just kill me. Kill me now. Okay. Any question, any comment? Anyone in the universe? Yeah. From the country of Germany. Please come.
So my first question was, you mentioned that Krishna is very dominant, and sometimes it can feel quite demanding.
Very demanding.
But then at the same time, in Krishna book, we hear about Bhrigu Muni who went to visit Vishnu, and he kicked Vishnu in the chest. But actually, Vishnu did not demand anything, and even that offense he took as a
Benediction.
yeah. So how can we understand? On one side, it says Krishna is very demanding, but then on the other side, we see that even Vishnu is not demanding at all, but he only see the good. So then how can Krishna see offense?
Yeah, how do we recognize... What was the last thing you said?
Then how can Krishna see offense? If Vishnu only sees the good, then how is it that Krishna can see offense?
Yeah, okay. So the question is, it seems that Krishna has different parts of his personality. Right? But then that's easy to understand because you have different parts of your personality. Like I know you quite well. You know, we're good friends. We know each other for some time. So you're very sweet, but you can also be very intense, right? And same with me. Like you know me. Like I can be sweet, but I can also be very intense. So Krishna's like that. We come from Krishna, so he's very dominant, but he's also very forgiving. Anyone can be like that. Any person can be like that. We have, Krishna has 64 qualities, right? Devotees have 26 qualities. Radharani has 25 qualities. So, all the qualities can be there simultaneously. They just come out at different times. Sometimes you have to be strict, sometimes you have to be sweet, sometimes you take it, sometimes devotees come, we're very soft with the devotee, because they need that. But other times we're very strict with the devotee, because they need that. So it just depends. So different moods will come out according to, like that. One time, Sachinandan Swami, he said to my Guru Maharaj, to my Krishna Maharaj, he said, what was it like being with Prabhupada? And he said, when you're with the Guru, you have to allow the Guru to be in whatever mood the Guru wants to be in. Because Prabhupada could be as soft as a rose or as hard as a thunderbolt. But Prabhupada loves us under all circumstances. So whatever mood they want to show, whatever mood Krishna wants to show. So I think at the end you said about offenses, like that. How can he...
Yeah, I guess all connected to the same question.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, sometimes he's very strict with us. He does not tolerate offense, and other times he's very tolerant. That's up to Krishna. It depends on his mood, right? Okay, I know you're going through a hard time, I'll be soft on you. Okay, now I have to be more strict on you. That's up to Krishna. He sees what you need. I know sometimes with me, sometimes I feel like Krishna, he's being very soft with me now. And I say to Krishna, thank you, because I'm very tired at the moment. And sometimes I get like that. I feel very fatigued or like that. And I think, Krishna's being very soft, thank you, because actually I'm finding it a little challenging at the moment. And other times he just comes in, right? That's up to him. Whatever he wants to give us. That's good.
So that was one of my first questions.
Yeah, 18 more.
So you mentioned about devotees not having mustache, and we can see in the early days, all the devotees, they were all like neatly shaved, with beautiful shikha, all the devotees with tila. But now we see in this common culture in general that you see many devotees, some even have long hair, some have beard, some don't even have shikha, some they often wear normal clothes. So what do you think of this trend?
What I think of the trend.
Is it like, what do you think of it?
This could go viral, whatever we say. That example I was giving was more for someone who moves into the brahmachari ashram. I said, someone, you were coming along with your moustache, and then, devotee said, "Now shave it off and go." So I should have clarified it. That's more for a brahmachari ashram, right? Because brahmachari should be clean shaven. That's the system. That's the standard that we expect. But other devotees, if they're grihastas or like that, then we don't have so much strict etiquettes or strict rules for the grihasta ashram. If someone wants moustache or beard, they want to come and look like Arjuna, then no, that's their choice. That's their choice. But for brahmachari or a sannyasi, they have to have clean shaven. That's the system. That's the tradition. Like that. So I should have been more clarification. Yeah, it's clarification. Grihasta, that's more their choice. You have more freedom. But if you're an ashram devotee, then you're living outside the ashram now. So if you want the moustache, that's up to you. But if you want to live in the ashram, Dwiji can't have a moustache. That's not appropriate. So, he has the desire for it, but he goes. But that cannot be there. But if you live outside the ashram, that's your choice. Yeah. You have our blessings. Okay. Any other question? Yeah.
Thank you for the nice class. You said that the gopis, we should follow their footsteps and they play Krishna as their friend. And then in that case, there's no rules and regulation. So then why does nectar of devotion give us so many rules and regulations?
I don't understand. What was your point?
Like we see that we should follow the footsteps of the gopis, how they play Krishna as their friend. In that case, there's no rules and regulations.
Not really. They still follow rules and regulations. They dress clean and they do all these things. You mean like when I said Radharani was about to run to Krishna and then Lalita said, "Stop"? Is that what you mean? That time? Yeah, but then there's rules. Because Radharani is about to run to Krishna and Lalita says, "Hey, stop." The rule is you should dress nicely before you go to Krishna. So even in the spiritual world there are rules. You can't just dress however you want. You have to dress nicely because you're going to please Krishna. So rules are there. It's not in the spiritual world there's no rules. You just want no rules. So when you go back to the spiritual world, you say, "Oh, now there's no rules," but there are rules. You still have to eat with your right hand. You still have to wash your mouth after you take prasadam. Right? You still have to keep your room clean. You still have to dress nicely for Krishna. You have to speak nicely to everyone. Rules are there. Right? You have to touch the feet of your elders when you go to the spiritual world. It's all there. Everything is still. It's not the rules are not there, but we do them for Krishna's pleasure, that's all. Does that make sense? Yeah, good question. Any other question? Yeah.
I just think that practices that we cannot do eight hands, like eight parts of your body. You should not touch the floor. You have to do proper obeisances.
Yeah.
But when you're chanting, you're still offering, you're still with Krishna. So even when you do obeisances, it's another thing that you can do with Krishna. So if you have japa in your hand and you do obeisances, doesn't it like you're being with Krishna?
Yeah, but Krishna says, put your japa beads down, offer obeisances, then pick your japa beads up, and then chant. It doesn't, because you can't chant while you're on the ground anyway, right? Because when you're on the ground, then you're chanting pranam. You're chanting a different mantra. So you can't, you're not chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, no. That's not what you're doing. So do it properly. Is that okay? Yeah. You have to put your beads down, offer obeisance, then pick them up again. Okay? Yeah. My guru said one time, he said to me, everyone wants to take shortcuts. He said that to me one time. He said, everyone wants to take shortcuts, because I offered obeisances to him, and his godbrother was there, Giri Maharaj was there. And I offered my obeisance to him. As I was down, I offered obeisances Nama Om Vishnu, pranam to my guru. And then while I was down, I said, Vancha Kalpata Rubyascha, because my guru's godbrother was there. And when I got up, he said, don't take shortcuts. He said, offer obeisances to me and then to my godbrother. Don't just, put it all in one package. Like that. So that we should not take shortcuts. We should do things properly. That is the etiquette. Just like, we offer the garland to the devotees. So, you come from the front, you offer the garland nicely. I've seen devotees offer from behind. They come from behind, they kind of put it over the person. It's not a nice etiquette. So there's reasons why we do the things we do. Don't take shortcuts, but do things nicely. Any other points? Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki.